Bayern Munich has given up on signing Jonathan Tah. Could it mean they might not be planning to sell Mathis De Ligt to Manchester United? Welcome to the United Hot Spot. My name is Webb. I'm here to give you an update about what exactly is happening with Mathis De Ligt and joining Manchester United. Meanwhile, there is a new one, David De Gea. You do recall him, Mr. Famous, Mr. Popular, the guy who left unceremoniously after captaining Man United, after being at the club for more than a decade. Well, David De Gea refused to return to football for over a year. Guess what? He returns now with Fiorentina, and it is all done, all set and done. He's ready to go for his medical as the deal has been agreed. Contract until 2025 with an option of a further 1 year. Mr. Former Manchester United, only 33 years of age. He's Mr. De Gea now because he's married. One of our, if not, was our, by the time he left, he was the highest paid player at Manchester United. He finally returns to football. He has found the passion again, and after that 1 year sabbatical, De Gea is back playing, and you love to see it, at least playing at Fiorentina, a team where we have our own Sofian Amrabat, who, by the way, I'm told at times trains in a Manchester United kit. Interesting stuff. But anyway, good stuff. We love to see it. I think I'm happy to see David De Gea back playing football. At least I know up to now there were people who felt lucky that things would go bad for Andre Onana, and somehow by some magic David De Gea returned to Manchester United. I think those are people who are so wishful. That's exaggerated wishful thinking, which I don't think is good. But anyhow, David De Gea is back. We wish him all the best, Dev. Thank you for serving Man United. Once a Red Devil, always a Red Devil. But let's get into the matters that speak more to what's happening with our situation as we count down to the start of the season. Like this video, share, subscribe as we do keep growing here on the United Hotspot. Now, here is the latest. Now, the latest, according to a report coming in from Germany, sources claim that Bayern Munich are not planning, have given up on signing Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen, even if they sold Mathis De Ligt to Manchester United. They don't, whether they sell him or not, they are not going to sign Jonathan Tah. Well, Jonathan Tah, remember, has been wanted by Bayer Leverkusen. They have wanted to keep him, but he was excited by the idea of joining Bayern Munich. But his contract is running out next summer, at the end of next summer. And Bayer Leverkusen wanted to tie him down to a new contract. He didn't seem to be moved because Bayern had contacted him. And Bayer Leverkusen, to make it difficult probably for Bayern, had set a price tag of about 30 million euros. Now, it seems Bayern Munich are failing to find enough sources. I think they are failing to find the money. I think it's becoming difficult for them to put together resources. So probably that's why they're giving up on signing him, because I mean, spending 30 million euros if you don't have so much cash to spend on a player who has got just a year left on his contract is certainly not easy. So it has this, update has an impact on the issue of Mathis De Ligt and Man United, because it is also possible that them choosing not to buy Jonathan Tah is because perhaps they're thinking of keeping Mathis De Ligt, or they feel like it's a high possibility that Mathis De Ligt will stay. So he's still a young boy, player. He's only 24, so he can certainly come good at any time. So they could have thought about it and said, you know what, if Manchester United is not giving us the money we want, maybe, I'm just saying, guys, it's not that this is the case, and I'm hoping it's not the case, but there must be a motivation to them coming out to make this, popular, because at least the sources from which it comes are quite credible. They are quite decent sources from Germany. So that's the situation. Again, if that were the case, it could low-key complicate matters for Manchester United, because you see, the hope Man United had that Bayern Munich would lower the expectation for Mathis De Ligt was in the fact that they were desperate to sign Jonathan Tah. But if they are making it known now that they're not going to sign Jonathan Tah, even if they sold him, they're telling you, we are not really, we are not in a rush. We are not in a rush. So it's not true that we are in a rush to buy Jonathan Tah. So give us the money we need, or you're not taking the player. We can as well keep him against his will, meanwhile. So it's a tricky situation that I think it's putting Manchester United in, again, continuing to complicate the season. But Erik ten Hag, while speaking in his pre-match, in his interview before the Community Shield game, he said that they know what they're doing. I think he sort of gave us a certain confidence that I think was beginning to drift away. that they do know what they're doing. That's what Erik Ten Hag said, that the whole team, including him, the team that is working on transfers, know what they're doing, which I think is an important assurance to come from the manager at a point like this when so many links are coming up, re-emerging reports of different players linked to Man United. I think it's a good thing for them to give us that confidence that they know what they're doing and we are only hoping for the best. It's indeed not an easy time to be in charge of transfers at Man United. It's definitely difficult because the money is not there. The contracts the players have, they don't want to leave. There are people who actually think some of the players who I told you about in my previous video who are injured now. There are people who seem to even feel like some of these players are faking injuries so that they are not sold, so that they stick around and keep earning their money. I mean, it's that bad with Manchester United. Well, perhaps it's not the case, but Ryan Rooney mentioned it before. You recall at the end of last season that he knows players who are faking injuries just because they didn't want to play. So there is a whole big problem that the Ineos team inherited, and you can only try to expect so much from them. Really, I feel for them because it's a time when there's a lot of expectation from the supporters. We are all feeling this is the time something different is going to happen, but there are certain things are beyond their control, so they can only work within what they have, and of course what the rules can allow them to do, because players are contracted and they don't want to leave. You can't force them out. I mean, these days players are so protected. They are highly protected, and the nature of contracts they sign with smart, money-minded agents lately, it's difficult. It's difficult. So it's a tricky situation that Ineos are in, but every day it feels like things get trickier. But the beauty is the boss Eric is saying they know what they're doing, and we are waiting to see what they are doing, like he says, is going to yield, because it's indeed a time of hope now. I think it's a case of having hope. Don't lose it. Believe in what is going to happen at Man United. Otherwise, things have been looking a bit worrying for the team. So it's hours now, really, I should say less than 48 hours to that game against Man City in the Community Shield. A game which you feel, with the memory of our FA Cup victory, I think, fresh in our minds, you also certainly want to come into that game with a lot of expectation, knowing that this is a new season. Of course, the FA Cup was won against expectation. I can't say against the run of play, because when we started the game, you felt it that Man United was in the game. But in terms of expectation before the game, really, not so many people gave Man United that game, except I. I'll give myself those flowers because I kept saying it and chanting and dancing in videos. And to be honest, I was also shocked by how we did it. But uh, as we go into this Community Shield game, my feeling is Erik Ten Hag has got, at least, even if, again, we are not going to come in as favorites for this one, but even if we are not going to be favorites, even if we may not have any right to win it, I honestly think the one thing we need to judge Erik Ten Hag and the team, his backroom staff, on is the performance, is how we play, how we build up the patterns. We've shown glimpses of building patterns in our last preseason games. If we can see that against Man City, probably by the 16th when you take on Fulham, there will be a better belief in all the fans. But trust you me, there is a sense of being unsure, a sense of unsureness among many United supporters, considering what's going on in this summer. What started as an exciting summer transfer window is turning out to be a difficult one. So let's wait and see how it all goes. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. Manuel Ugarte, United are still holding talks with Paris Saint-Germain, hoping that the values will be reduced. So whereas, yes, they are looking at other options, they don't want to rush to move on from Ugarte, because probably they don't feel like the available options are really at it when it comes to the kind of number 6 they want. So these are reports still that came in today. My name is Webb. I'll catch you later, fam. Peace, love, and harmony.